Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. Welcome to your June 2024 tarot reading. I hope and pray all is well with you. Let's get into these messages. I feel like if you have a lot of earth placements or even fire placements, you may be affected by a lot of the transits that are going to be happening rather soon. It feels like it's a positive influence, specifically like over your money endeavors, or if you're trying to heal from something or move on in general. I feel like it will benefit you very well. It's a time of reflection though, so if you get like stuck in the past or a little bit of nostalgia, you need to know like your hard work is paying off with the Seven of Pentacles. You may not necessarily feel like it at the very beginning of the month, but there's going to be like little signs of results here and there that you need to appreciate, because even if something is patiently or slowly taking its time to come in, it's still working, and I feel like you need to appreciate that. Okay, I'm also seeing there might even be a person who has that same energy towards you. I feel like there's going to be something of improvement. I feel like you might see little signs of that as well. It feels like there's offers and opportunities that are wanting to come in. I feel like you're deeply admired. You may even feel like a rush, almost like energy that you might get during a solstice. It is giving that energy. It feels like there's an upliftment here, and it's very welcoming. Whether it's you receiving good news, somebody might be appreciating you during this time just because it's even given. I just feel like you have a sweetheart energy around you if it's not yourself, and somebody just deeply admires you. Okay, it's because you're minding your business, you're taking care of yourself. The Empress wanted to show itself. And you have the Nine of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and Judgment. You're healing from a lot of negativity that you experience, but you're handling it in a positive way. Some of you could be like gardening to ground yourself, but also it's helping you with reflection, to cleanse your energy, to purify yourself. Some of you might be connecting with if you're into like deities and things like that, you might be connecting with that, or just higher source, Jesus. I feel like you're possibly even reading scriptures and things like that to protect you during this time, or doing that will really assist you. I feel like there's a heightened sense of awareness around you, so be very cognizant of your intuition and your downloads. Because I feel like there might be something that you've been ignoring that you kind of need to bring more focus to. For some of you, it's when you're like gardening, there's something that keeps coming through at the back of your mind or in your head while you're like in your mood. And source is saying that you kind of need to bring it to the forefront because they're trying to bring your attention to something, and they're saying don't delay. Okay. King of Wands, possibly huge Sagittarius energy that's coming through. This feels like energetically it's coming around the time of like between June 6th and like the 17th. It feels like there's a lot of Venus energy, a lot of Mercury energy that kind of has to adapt. Those are both signs in Cancer too. Cancer could be significant or affecting you very heavily, but nevertheless, I feel like there's a huge possibility of someone who is entering into your life with a lot of passion, exuding a lot of confidence. This may be another placement in their chart that I'm picking up on too, so just be mindful, but it feels like they exude that energy a lot more than you realize. They may have a lot of fire to them. It feels like you're going to be in an engaging conversation. There might even be like a respark or a revamp in your love life, or somebody just looks very hot and attractive if it's not you appearing very irresistible, especially if you have like Leo placements very heavily in your chart. But it feels like it could be someone outside of you too. Maybe both of you guys are kind of like having a rebirth. It feels like it's something with your clothing. Not to be superficial either. Some of you might be wanting to either make some sort of home improvement or move, but it feels like you're able to invest in your clothing too, or you need to, because I feel like somebody's going to be more favorable towards you or give you some like huge gift, and it's due to your appearance. Not to sound superficial yet again, but I do feel like it's because of how you're coming to somebody. It feels like you reflect that you have your life together and your circumstances together through that. So there could be something about you doing that. I'm hearing like somebody might be going on a shopping spree, listening to Vogue by Madonna, like having a ball. Okay, it's necessary for some reason. All right. could be a loved one, okay, or ancestor to your relative. Ace of Wands here. I feel like you're going to find a location or something here. There's a pivotal point, and it's sparked due to like your passions, your endeavors. It feels like something that you've been doing. You're going to get some sort of freedom and positive news from, even promotions. I've been getting a lot of promotions in my readings. I don't know if it's like the same person reading multiple readings or what have you, but congratulations again. Okay, with this Eight of Cups, it could be because you recognize when to walk away from something. I'm only bringing that up because energetically what's going on in the planets and things like that, we have Vesta, which enters Leo on June 19th, and then we have Mercury, which enters Cancer on the 17th, 2 days prior. Both having a lot to do with reflection in the past, okay? Like really heavy on the Six of Cups energy, but it feels like you feel great about a decision that you make because you're getting a reward. And that might be a reward gifted from Venus, because Venus is messing with Cancer too a few days prior to that. So it feels like there's something that's benefiting you so that you've had a lot of ideas that have sparked your interest. Now you can engage in them. It's the ignition to prayers answered, blessings. You have the Six of Wands energy. You are very, very successful, and you will see it the last week of, the second to last week, excuse me, of June. It's also a blessing from Mercury too, especially if you have been doing something to protect you, or you recognize where Mercury was affecting you, or even a positive influence in your birth chart. It feels like you've been doing something to like heal that connection that you have, or like residual problems, doing what you need to do relentlessly, and you're not underestimating yourself anymore. It feels like you needed to induce confidence in yourself, because for a long time you restricted yourself by not speaking up. So with you kind of opening up your mouth, you know, and not resisting what it is that you desire, it's almost like you've been able to alchemize a different life for yourself, or a different outlook of yourself in comparison to maybe being more shy in the past or more reserved. Could be because you have better people around you too that I'm picking up on. The Empress. And you're ready for something in your business is very important to you. It's having positive milestones here after some obstacles. There could have been somebody who wanted to work against you when it came to your career endeavors, but I feel like you are not a failure. This could be like a co-worker that I'm picking up on. If it's not, I don't feel like it's something that you should really worry too much about, because they're failing anyway. And I feel like something that you're doing is extremely successful. There's some pivotal shift though, okay? And I say that because you're being reminded to have balance, patience, and also you are the angelic being here, maybe even the voice of reason, and you might need to contribute your ideas, because there might be somebody who's trying to like change something and it's not going to work, okay? I'm also getting here, if you're like looking into changing an animal's food or working on their diet or something like that, I'm seeing you might have to give like 2 tries or 2 go-arounds, because this next one might actually make the animal sick. So just, you know, be present and aware, paying attention to like what they're getting into, because I just feel like you've been very concerned there. I feel like a heightened awareness to like your animals, but not just animals. For some of you, you might be wanting to make sure like your child can be around an animal as well. Like if they are sensitive, maybe allergies or something like that. I just feel like there's a heightened awareness around like both energies and how they coexist. Okay, so just be mindful of that. If you have your own shop and you've been wondering like if you should bring your animal there, yes, it's actually healing. Both of you guys and others. There's going to be somebody that comes in that's like, they feel very quaint around your energy and like your shop, maybe wanting to invest in what you have going on because of this energy. Especially if you do something with like crystals or healing, or if you're like a director of some sort, maybe you kind of have been encouraged by a therapist or a neurologist of some sort, like somebody who encourages you to have like an animal around you. I feel like they're giving you some useful information that is very protective to your energy. Somebody's going to be a little bit jealous of some sort of reward in which you have received or recognition, okay? This feels like this is coming in around the last week of June, almost into Cancer season, okay? They may even be a Cancer if they're not a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Libra. But it just feels like this person, they're jealous of your endeavors. And they're jealous at the fact that they're not being recognized as you are. They also didn't put in as much work. They could have even possibly delayed something that you were doing at one point in time. And there's an emphasis on that because I feel like even if they didn't receive an actual reprimandment that you're aware of, there is something where someone doesn't view them in the same light since finding out about this circumstance, okay? And it favors you. And I also feel like you have a lot of nice energy when it comes to romances around you because you are protecting yourself and your energy. You're very wise, okay? You might even feel like if you have an offer that's coming in, maybe from multiple areas or just one person here, that there's still a little bit beneath you. And it might even be something that if it's a new relationship or somebody that you're talking to, I feel like it ends on a positive note, but you still recognize your worth and how you're not going to settle. So you might be refraining from something because you're choosing self-love. You might be focusing more on like sculpting your body or your health or like getting your finances together or getting more security in your life. And you just, maybe you're kind of a little bit, you want to sit out for a little bit in the relationship game for those of you who are not in serious commitments, okay? For others of you who are, like I said, no serious commitments, it almost feels like you're coming closer together with your partner, you know, focusing more so on the security and the home aspect and also the connection between you. Looking and feeling your best and smelling your best is really important during this time. And also not falling off, I'm hearing, okay? Like upkeep. Upkeep, okay? You're priceless. If someone cannot match your worth, you are not afraid to move on. You will not be manipulated. Some of y'all might turn around on a person. I say that some of you may turn around on a person because you may recognize that you have the wrong idea or that you were experiencing some sort of change in your life, though. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are interested in something in the long term, especially because it shows that you've been letting go of something overall. You're getting happier within yourself first, and it almost feels like you need to find that zhuzh within you again. Heighten your energy back up before you really commit to something. Somebody's going to respect that you do this because it shows how much you appreciate yourself. And let's just put this here because this energy is giving a lot of love, but I really don't want you guys to be almost self-absorbed in this relationship that you lose yourself. I feel like in order to keep it healthy, I have to like hit this point for you. It's very important not to lose yourself in a commitment, to be too intertwined with a person so much so that you lose your identity. It almost feels like you spark up your last almost 2 to 3 weeks if you're lucky here because you are able to recognize that within yourself. You almost unflaw yourself where you were close to doubting. All right. And I almost say doubting because the Seven of Pentacles energy, a lot of times it has a lot to do with you planting seeds, but sometimes people become doubtful or it's taking too long. You know, you've been working very hard, but you're not seeing the payout. It's like as soon as you think that, you turn around and there's more growth. So, you know, I just want to encourage you to stay on your pathway, to stay balanced. All right. That Temperance energy coming through again. Let's clarify this though. Seven of Pentacles, please. Your essence during this time is extremely heightened and is guiding you in the right direction. You could be seeing signs from ancestors or just seeing symbols in all ways and all forms that are letting you know that you are derived from a higher essence, okay? You are not here to be belittled. You might be choosing to be more awakened than to kind of stay asleep or unaware. And it feels like in you being divinely guided and making this choice, you are receiving the bliss, or you will very soon. That energy comes to you with a great promise. It doesn't come to just protect just anybody, okay? You're very important to Nana Paruku. Possibly because they helped you when you were healing from some sort of resentment. Possibly someone who wasn't the most faithful or loyal, or maybe you struggle with relationships like this in general. I also feel like there were some inner child wound healings, maybe patriarchal issues that were heightened in your life. But I'm also seeing that there were pained individuals here that you kind of had to release because you recognized that there was no transformation there. You had to practice forgiveness. You had to practice, keeping your head up, focusing on reflection and how others are still not going to get you off of your pathway in spite of what they do. It feels like you have to be very mature, even when in doubt. Okay, you could have to, some of you might do yin yoga a lot, or you might do restorative poses, or just doing that during this time is going to help invigorate you within yourself and help with your self-esteem. All right, gratitude. You're also going to be very grateful during this time about everything that you're receiving, because it almost feels like it's a little extra. It's more than what you're anticipating or expecting. And I feel like it's very fruitful for you. You can do rewarding things with this. You can nurture things that you care about with this. I'm also picking up a stigma that people had of you, or a distorted view that people had of you. It no longer exists, and you're not necessarily telling these people. I feel like you're not necessarily inclined to. It feels like you are just happier being by yourself and not necessarily focusing on the negative. I'm also seeing that there's going to be a huge improvement because somebody tried to disrupt your pathway in some way, shape, or form. And it's like, it was not unseen by heavenly eyes. And I feel like there's a consequence to that. It's something to protect you that you're going to be very grateful for, that you hear about early on in June. It feels like between June 6th and June 8th here. Okay. And with this Hierophant here, it's rewarding for you to go within and to heal with solitude energy, giving hermit energy on Hierophant. Maybe you have Taurus and Virgo placements, or you have that dynamic in some way, shape, or form in your life. But the two together right now, the combination is focusing on your higher self for your highest good. It is showing that even in places where you feel vulnerable, that you still feel a sense of responsibility or duty to show up for someone possibly younger than yourself, or to just feel, you might have to feel strong and feel like you have it together, even if you don't necessarily feel like you do. It feels like you're more so trusting your intuition, and then your gut kind of comes in and supports you, because you're kind of praying to Source, and Source is giving you the answers and guiding you on your journey. Okay, so don't feel like you're lost, and you're definitely not alone. Even though you are guided solely to be independent in this moment, it's almost like there's a group ton of you who are in that place, and you need to appreciate that. Okay, it's necessary for your growth, they're saying. Yep. And also, if you want or expect to have positive influences in your social connections, not just love, I'm picking up friendships, even family relations, okay? There's something about some of you guys may have struggled to have independency or time by yourself, or maybe like for a while you didn't have a room by yourself growing up. You always had to share. So, something about the solitude, it might feel a little bit foreign to you at times, if that's you, but it's saying this is what you need to be doing. It's not to induce depression, it's actually to clear away some people who might have been pushing that energy off onto you. I'm also seeing some of you might be doing some cleansing with some Himalayan salt, if you don't have like some Dr. Teal's. But if you Himalayan salt is actually a little bit stronger. Or like if you put both in there together, it'll help you to relieve something I feel like was trying to keep you tense energetically with freedom in the reverse here, I do feel like there's an energy of resistance that's not related to you. It's almost like somebody struggles to release you. And it's very apparent. It's on your energy so strongly you could have a heightened sense of awareness about it, that you have downloads about it. It's telling you and it's urging you to do something about it, because you will receive some sort of benefit. There will be an obvious sign that it's working. So if you know somebody who will help you with that, you might need to contact them. But I'm also picking up here for some of you, if you had a situation in the past where somebody was like being deceptive energetically, or trying to like trap you in a contract or a bad agreement or something like that, you're actually easily able to like revoke something or get out of something. It's like you're ducking and dodging the way that you need to, and somebody's just mad that you've escaped. Okay, so yeah, your community, it could be something like that. Or maybe, oh, some of y'all, you may have a neighbor. I don't know if you made good connections with them. It feels like you did, or like an animal like them or something like that. I feel like they're a little bit upset that you could be like leaving. Okay, they could be trying to reconnect with you, or like they're just gonna miss you or something like that. You might need to know that, and they're damn sure not gonna like their next neighbors as much as you. Okay. You guys might be very peaceful. Maybe you welcome like a child or a family member into your home, somebody new, and like it changed things. They really like, they were like, oh, your energy is so much better. Like you look happier or something, like they care about you. Okay. You need to know that you care for your environment, even though you're in autonomous energy, as you transcend and transform into this more heightened, self-aware, confident, passionate person. It feels like you might notice a significant improvement within your vocal range, or you speaking up for yourself is coming through in some way with this. All right, I feel like there's something about people also liking the way that you communicate or what you're saying. Your energy or your voice is living in people's head rent free, or specifically one person that's coming through for you. Okay, it feels like they have a deep passion for you, and they're like paying attention to you during this time. Okay, Shango could be assisting you. I just got that really strongly, Shango or Chango, but I'm getting toleration with a situation or a circumstance. I feel like somebody might have been stuck a little bit. Energetically, you could have been using crystals to help you to heal some stagnant energy that was around you here, or to shift your energy. But it feels like you're getting out of stagnancy. It feels like you're being patient, you're being more reserved, more mature, you're having a higher sense of awareness about everything around you, and it's causing you to be more confident to show up to the table how you need to. But it's crazy because I want to almost forewarn you, I didn't see the Knight of Wands energy, but right here, for some reason, on this Ace of Wands, I'm picking up on like a fast, swift, almost Knight of Wands energy that's coming in, and it's almost like astrologically. So if you feel like there's something that's coming together at the last minute, or you're almost having to rush, the one thing that I want to encourage you is that sophistication during this time is your key. And it has a lot to do with the Mercury energy in relation to how it's entering into Gemini. That's going to be very important to have like a fashion statement, but be very sophisticated, very sleek during this time. Be very simple. When it comes to your clothing and things like that, it's going to pay off. I'm also seeing like lighter colors, like a lot of whites, a little bit of blacks, and maybe some grays and beiges. Okay, for some reason, it's almost like your energy, your skin, your essence, it just stands out, your aura. Okay, so you just kind of need to highlight that during that time, and simplicity is your perfect answer. It feels like it's going to get you through the door. For some of you guys, you might have a nice either promotion gain or a new job gain. For some of you, it's an interview. Okay, some of y'all might win something because of your appearance. If you have something like in court, if you're wearing like white and like a magenta or something. Accountability here and choices are coming through on the Six of Wands. You chose to do the right thing, possibly, and it's working favorably for you. I feel here that there is something about etiquette that's going to come through. So, Source is urging you to be on your game, to be very honest and be very accountable, because with the victory card here, I'm not going to place this in the reverse for you, but it feels like you're being watched during this time to make sure that you stay consistent for this victory to stay in your favor. So if you don't, you might have that tower that comes in negatively instead of affecting, somebody who was opposing you, right? That's what it's saying. So just be very accountable. Also, I'm seeing here, you may have to wake up with an alarm less, like your body becomes more adaptive, but there's still something here about you staying responsible, okay? You could be getting more accustomed to a routine or schedule, especially if you've been like waking up early in the morning to exercise, possibly before you go to work, or you've been like wanting to swim or take some sort of courses, just to get your life together, to get your mind together. It's resetting you very much so with the Revolution card. You're very much so prepared for the energy that's going to come in when you have some sort of success or spark of interest. Your star power is highlighting you, and a lot of people are intrigued by you, wanting to engage with your energy, but you're definitely prepared for it and how you're handling it or how you're working on yourself privately. You could have someone who is assisting you with like protecting your energy. I don't feel like this is negative. This almost feels like this is healing work. Some of you guys, you could be Reiki healers, or you do something with like, what is that? Humidifiers. Like you might put droplets in there to like cleanse and purify the energy. Tea trees, lavenders, orange, jasmine, bergamot, things like that. You might use like things to help cleanse your energy, your space, your home, things like that. It feels very good for you, and it helps you to get some sort of opportunity here, or to lead or master something with stability here. On the Two of Cups, that's a very beautiful, loyal energy, whether it's a friendship or a person in your life that's showing you that they're trustworthy, stable. Somebody's going to come through for you. And if this is not you coming through for them, it's kind of giving that interchangeable energy of like trustworthiness. But I feel like it stems from you taking back your power, possibly where others were underestimating you. It's just a different change in your energy, and people are drawn to it. It could be a family member as well, or how you are connected with your family. It could be, why is somebody trying to get a girl back? There could be somebody's goal. Be very mindful of that. Like somebody's trying to get somebody back. I'm picking up an energy. Somebody could be in a relationship too. You could be sought after like that. And this is why you possibly are keeping your love life or like what you do under wraps and very private. Somebody's going to be very upset when you do find a new person. I feel like you're not necessarily focused on that though. It almost feels like you're focused on your abundance and stabilizing opportunities, or like a proper resources or a healthy community for yourself, or just finding your place in life. But all of that kind of falls in line with this, because there's going to be some huge opportunity for a lot of you guys. It's just going to be like you moving in a wonderful place and you liking where you are, and you start to create a community of people who are actually very good for you and like-minded. It's because some of y'all are hermiting because your environment right now is poo. Okay. But once it starts to lighten up, I feel like energetically you'll feel a lot better and want to kind of get around new people. But for now, it feels like family will do. I feel like family is actually going to bring you some lighthearted energy, or even good news to you, possibly about a rewarding ending for you, so that you can move on to future endeavors here. There could have been somebody who was trying to, why they said squander or squat, like it feels like somebody who's not supposed to be somewhere. They're trying to do something that isn't vital or necessary. I hope y'all's animals didn't start to bark because my neighbor's dog started to bark. I apologize if they did. But yeah, I just feel like you have new destinations in line for you. Some of you guys could be focusing on travel, or traveling is opening up for you. A positive destination here, possibly to in some sort of conflict or stress that you have been incurring. If you've been dealing with legalities, your harvest is coming in, and I feel like it will overflow. Or something that you have wanted, something that you have wanted, I feel like is going to work out better than you anticipated, because it may be short-lived. If somebody might mess up, or something might happen here that protects you. It protects you. It's like you're going in a different direction from somebody else, and I don't want to say this, who have y'all been connecting with? It almost feels like the Most High has almost gathered, because that's the only, the Most High is protecting you so much so that it's almost like they have gathered an army of dark to almost swarm this person to keep them away from you. Like, they're just so distracted with like bad endeavor after bad endeavor, and I'm not reaching right now. You feel me? I'm seeing this, and it's like it's not a bubble, it's something different. It's like a auric field, and they can't touch you. Okay, and you're just on this pathway and this destination of happiness, and there's a surprising endeavor that's happening towards either the end of June or like very early July that gets to you by that point in time. That's a huge blissful blessing that lasts for a while, and it's not going away. It just feels like the huge hump of it comes then. Very beautiful energy that I'm picking up on for you. From what I've gathered, it feels like, you meditating and focusing on positive energy, healing energy, is what's healing you. Okay, there was somebody who was almost obsessed with your energy, maybe even had you panicked, and it had you almost inclined to release in some way, shape, or form, maybe even releasing the guilt of walking away from the situation, because you realized where it was just hurting you and somebody wanted to cause you harm, So now that you have like freed yourself, you definitely don't want to underestimate your worth or give this person the opportunity to try to open the gateways again. That could be why that move is vital for you, to protect yourself. I feel like there's some major transformation that's coming in, because there's like a cloud or a bubble that was trying to like be placed intentionally by another person over your success. And it's like, it has to be cleared away. Has to be cleared away. I don't know why I said has to be like that, but let's go ahead and look into your financial messages a little more closely. And then from there, we'll see how people are viewing you in all areas and all ways, and how they're coming through energetically to you, so that you make the right calls and make the right decisions during this time. North Star, you're facing the future with excitement as you follow your dreams and embrace your passions in life. You are now directed to your life's purpose. It's due to you clearing and trusting in your pathway and things that are growing properly for you. This is not the person that's getting mad that they're not growing petunias when they tried to plant some tomato seeds. It's like you are well focused on what you desire, and I feel like you are disembarking in roles that don't serve you, so that you can be more almost hyper aware of things that you need to focus on. You're more focused on endeavors that matter. There were things that were trivial that might have been catching your attention at one point in time, and you stopped the distractions, or you stopped distortion most recently in your life. You could have even gotten out of like the matrix energy a little bit. Maturation. You are becoming more mature in handling your finances. Taking responsibility is exciting but challenging. It is time to be dependable. Whether it's you having like somebody who is dependent on you, or you just being mindful of everything that you have going on in your destinations, your pathway, your goals, is very significant. You have a plan for yourself because you recognize that source has a plan for yourself. And I feel like you're not in an energy of wanting to misguide yourself or be a bad influence. It feels like you'd rather be a good role model here. There might be people who you feel like energetically, treat you like everybody else, but these people actually look up to you in a deep admirational state. I just feel like your energy is just very chill, cool, calm, and collected, and people want to make sure that you don't feel overwhelmed by their company. I feel like you are very responsible during this time, as well as very resourceful in your endeavors. And this is going to work out for you. I feel like you're going to start to make healthy decisions or find ways to even save within your finances. It's like somebody who's investing in like long-term items or things because they see the value in it, the true value it holds. It could even be something that you're doing within yourself. You have an exceptional talent in art that needs to be discovered or expanded. It's time to make a fortune in your creativity. Some of you, it's through your hands or through your natural gifts and abilities, your raw talent, that you are as successful as you are. And it feels like there might even be somebody who's interested in going mainstream or making your business public. If you don't do this yourself, it might be somebody who wants to collaborate with you. But I feel like whatever it is that you're doing, you're getting favored in something. There is somebody here who is receiving support, and it's due to your youth in comparison to your value, your worth, and your philosophy. It feels like you have grown a lot. You might even be able to magnetize the connection romantically that you have between you and someone else due to you experiencing this growth that your finances is kind of highlighting. It feels like you are able to become the person that you wanted to be because you're doing the proper reflective work too. You're going to see that there are people around you who struggle with being mindful, and this is what sets you apart. So you might want to, if you don't know what being mindful is, you might want to look into it a little bit more. There's many different ways to practice mindfulness, and so many people really struggle with that. I feel like you might be like taken aback. Okay, they want to hang out. These are people who are distracting you due to how controlling they are. It's like they want to reroute your destination because they see where you're on one. And what I mean by on one is you're on your divine route. The one meaning the divine route. It's like you're very close in connection with source, so much so it's like they hold your hand and guide you like that. And there's somebody here who is wanting to kind of get in the way of that connection because they would like it, not knowing that they can have it themselves. But it's because they focus too much energy on you. They're almost a little bit either too self-absorbed in their own situations or just enthralled in your energy, that they're too intertwined with it. This is the energy I think I was telling you guys about. They give good advice. Okay. You could be receiving good advice about this relationship during this time. Yeah, there's a fake person around them. I also feel like energetically, you don't necessarily have time for the friend groups of other people either. You might, like I said, prefer that independence, being true to yourself. You could realize that people invite you places because they feel like you'll pay the tab, or you might recognize that there are some people who are just not in as stable predicaments as you. And you know that they can't necessarily afford whatever it is that they're talking about. And it's almost like you feel obligated, and that's not healthy. This is about a luncheon or a gathering or a meeting that's either taken place recently or is about to. Yeah. Maturation is getting, they love you. There's a supportive family member or just family members in general that kind of encourage you to stay focused. I'm also getting here, you might be shown through like gifts, rewards. Yeah, somebody's just telling you that others are a hater. They want to argue and they want to be closer to you. Yeah. Somebody might tell you this is why people, like a certain person specifically, might want to be around you. If they're creating arguments and things like that, it's like, unless you've been working too hard or too much, this person might feel like you're a little bit void sometimes. So just be mindful of that too. I want to be fair and honest. I did see that. But other than that, it is giving that for some of you guys, this person just doesn't have the same responsibilities that you do, or they don't take them as seriously as you do. And you need to be very vocal about that, because I feel that this person is trying to ridicule or criticize like very small things in the big scheme of things. And you may have struggled with like recognizing that you were someone who struggled with like heightened stress levels than others, right? And they know like your triggers. And the way that they're coming at you is also showing that this person may not be as loving or as caring or understanding as others around you are, especially if you've been vocal about you experiencing this thing. It feels like somebody's almost like ignoring that, or they weren't taking it as seriously as they should have. This is a past life connection. This person lost you in a past life. Due to the same behavior, it was over drama. That's what I just saw in words. And then like chitter chatter. They could have been a gossiper. I feel like they really haven't changed that much. So you might need to think about this connection as you evolve, because I feel like there's something about this that's almost giving, I don't want to say this, but it feels like somebody's almost befriending you because they know like you're the friend that gives them the expensive stuff or the nice stuff and things like that, okay? Talent, please. Family issues are affecting this connection. This feels like this is a person that could be connected to you, your love life in some way. Like you could have been the person that came and helped this person to feel like there was going to be positive resolutions with their family, and perhaps something has happened again, all right? But it feels like you're almost Houdini, and people are almost hating that you can't spend time with them either. That influence is there here too, excuse me. But you're experiencing success and rewards elsewhere. Be mindful if you have children or things that you really do need to care for. It almost feels like a sense of neglect ever so slightly. But I'm also feeling here somebody might have put you in a predicament like that too. Like it might not be a fair situation. They're obsessed with you. Somebody had an unhealthy obsession though. Somebody actually needed to be blocked at one point in time so that they could come to the situation being healthier, so that if they do mess up, they will be reprimanded. So it's like something that somebody is coming with somebody with to like favor them. It's actually going to favor the other person if they were doing some like stalking stuff. So just be mindful of that. Because I feel like, you know, somebody wasn't wrong. This connection needs boundaries. And also, if you're trying to work on yourself and grow and be happier and healthier, there does need to be some boundaries at some point in time. Or there were. Yeah, it's right to do. They admire you. I feel like this is somebody who may even struggle to tell you this. But you know what it is. And I feel like you don't really need this person's security or their advice or much from them anyway. And I feel like that's where they struggle. That's where they struggle, but it's like they always loved your independence, because now they might deal with somebody who is codependent and they hate that. They hate that they slack. So it's like, just be confident in you and how you're maneuvering, because where people are trying to make you feel doubtful about yourself, that's where they want you the most. Like that's what they want from their partner, their spouse. They want that. And the crazy thing is that they might even tell their person in front of them, no, I don't want this. But they use this person for just like their sex magic. They don't really treat them with much worth. And I also feel here that you recognize when people do this to you and how to remove yourself from those types of connections, because you don't like that possession. You don't like that possessive energy. You're not interested in being objectified anymore. You want more than that. Your ego is not so driven and eager to get like down the aisle with something that's unhealthy, right? Or like in a unsuccessful career path, right? It just doesn't sound right to you. You want to make sure that your energy is stable in everything that you do. So anything that is falling off of your path, it's because it's showing you all the red flags so that you can be healthier and lighter and not so resistant to what's good for you and what's meant for you, okay? So just remember that during this time, Virgo. That was your message. I love you so very much. Thumbs up the video and comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if it resonated with you. Thank you so much for being here. Perhaps share this with somebody that might be a Virgo or have those placements or just might resonate with this. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.